I've watched a founder lose $10 million and a year of momentum because they made one bad executive hire. The company never recovered. This is hire smart from the start. And if you're a founder scaling from 5 to 500 people, this might be the most important 12 minutes you watch all year. Here's what I realized after helping build HotJobs to 650 people and a $1.2 billion market cap, and then doing it again with ladders. Most startup failures aren't about product or market. They're about people, specifically hiring decisions that seem smart in the moment, but quietly killed momentum over months. So today, I'm giving you my honest assessment. 3 things this book gets right, 1 real limitation, and exactly who should and shouldn't read it. Because I didn't write this book from an ivory tower. I wrote it from the trenches after watching brilliant founders destroy their own companies by getting the people side wrong. Let me take you back. When we took HotJobs public, I learned something that changed how I think about building companies forever. The companies that scaled fastest, the ones that went from scrappy startup to category leader, they didn't just have better products or funding, they had better people decisions. I don't mean they got lucky with talent. I mean they had systems, frameworks, a way of thinking about hiring that was as disciplined as their approach to product or sales. But here's what separated the winners from everyone else. They didn't just hire, they recruited. The companies that struggled, they treated hiring like a bureaucratic administrative process. They posted jobs, they waited for resumes, they filtered through whoever happened to apply. They built entire systems to optimize mediocrity at scale, spending countless hours and money on recruiting software and screening tools, all designed to answer one question: how do we pick the best of whoever applied? But that's the wrong question. They were playing defense, reacting to who was available and convenient. It's like picking fruit that's already fallen on the ground. Easy, convenient, but bruised, rotten, and not fit for your best work. The winners, they played offense. They identified exactly who they needed, went out and found them, and convinced them to leave great jobs to join something even better. And here's what I saw happen over and over. A brilliant founder would build an incredible product, raise capital, get early traction, and then post a job for a VP of sales on LinkedIn, because that's what everyone does. 6 months later, they'd hired someone mediocre because that's who applied. Not because great VPs of sales don't exist, but because great VPs of sales aren't scrolling job boards. They're already running sales at better companies than yours. I saw this pattern destroy so many companies that I couldn't stay quiet anymore. And after 20 plus years of working with hundreds of founders from pre-seed to IPO, I refined these frameworks into something that actually works in the real world. That became hire smart from the start. Here's something to understand. No company ever became great because they were amazing at running payroll or benefits administration. Those are table stakes, basic functions that all employees expect to be run correctly every time, but they don't create competitive advantage. You know what does? Recruiting and culture. Those are the most strategic parts of what people call HR. Because every decision about who joins your team and how they work together compounds either towards greatness or toward mediocrity. Every startup founder, every CEO, every investor, every person who wants to identify themselves as a leader, they need to understand how to make recruiting and culture their strategic competitive advantage. Recruit better, achieve more, make leadership your legacy. That's what this book is really about. Not HR, not bureaucracy, not process. Strategic advantage through people. So let me tell you the 3 things this book gets right. Pro number 1, it gives you a blueprint, not just a scorecard. This is critical. Most people talk about scorecards, which are tools you use after you've already met candidates to evaluate them. But that's too late. A blueprint is proactive. It's what you create before the search even begins. So you know exactly what success looks like, what competencies matter, what values align with your culture, and what trajectory you're looking for. It's the same way a master architect would design your home before the first hammer is swung. This honors the intentionality and your desired outcome, and it saves enormous amounts of time, energy, and effort. Because if you don't know what you're looking for before you start climbing, you'll waste time picking the wrong fruit. Chapter 2 walks you through how to build the blueprint, not just responsibilities, but success metrics, decision rights, core competencies, and how this role connects to the broader mission. This is what allows you to move from reactive hiring to proactive recruiting. And it's the difference between hoping you find someone good and extracting exactly who you need. Pro number 2, it teaches level 3 recruiting, not filtering, but hunting. Let me explain the 3 levels. Level 1 is internet recruiting. Post a job, wait for applications, high volume, low quality. It's the worst way to find a leader. Level 2 is referrals and networking. Hey, does anybody know someone? You get people who are available and convenient. This is what big search firms do when they're too busy to do the real work. Level 3, that's precision extraction. You identify the best 40, 50, 60 people on the planet for your role. Not who's looking, not who's available, the best people whose personal DNA matches your cultural DNA. Because here's what most people miss. Finding a great VP of sales is easy. There are thousands of them. But finding the right VP of sales for you, that's rare. And here's the thing. Elite recruiting is a courtship, not an interrogation of suspicious characters. It's about knowing how to attract the right candidates, keeping them interested, creating an evaluative process that stimulates them intellectually and moves them emotionally. It's about making candidates enjoy the process, creating an environment where they feel safe, helping them see a future where they thrive. You could have all the intelligence in the world, but can you make candidates want to join you? Can you present a vision that's more compelling than what they're doing now? That's the beauty of the art. And that's what I teach in this book. Pro number 3, it's built for founder reality, not corporate theory. This book understands you don't have an HR department. You're doing this between product meetings and investor calls. You need something that works with 5 people or 150 people. Every chapter includes real case studies from founders who learned the hard way, like the CEO who hired a brilliant engineer who couldn't work with anyone, or the founder who skipped reference checks and paid the price, millions of dollars, a year of momentum, and almost the entire company. This isn't academic research. This is pattern recognition from thousands of real hiring decisions. The frameworks scale whether you're hiring for your first employee or your 150th. And they're designed to work even when you're moving fast, don't have perfect information. Okay, one con, and I want to be straight with you. This book is optimized for early stage to mid-growth companies. If you're leading a 5,000-person organization, you'll still find value, but the frameworks are built for founders scaling from 5 to 500. But if you're looking for enterprise-scale talent systems with compliance matrices and global hiring policies, this isn't that book. This is for founders in the arena, building, moving fast, needing to get hiring right when every hire is make or break. So here's my final recommendation. Read this book if you're a founder or early leader doing your own hiring. You've made a bad hire and want to make sure it never happens again. You need frameworks that work this week, not theoretical HR advice. You're scaling from 5 to 500 people, and every hire is make or break. You want to learn how to play offense, to recruit, not just filter. Look, hiring is the highest leverage thing you do as a founder, investor, or leader. You can have the best product, the best strategy, the best funding, but if you hire wrong, none of it matters. I've watched a founder lose $10 million and a year of momentum because they made one bad executive hire. The company never recovered. Because here's the truth. One bad executive hire doesn't just cost you their salary. It costs you the opportunity cost of the right person, the damage to culture, and the momentum you'll never get back. This book exists because I don't want you to learn the way too many founders do, by losing years and millions of dollars to avoidable mistakes. Your first 10 hires determine whether you build a company or a cautionary tale. If you're building something that matters, you can't afford to get hiring wrong. Hire smart from the start. Available at Amazon and at davecarvajal.com. Now let's go build something legendary with the right people.